Welcome to Breaking News TV 24, your channel for news updates and current affairs. Stay tuned. Breaking news, Justin. Today's news update, you will learn about the latest development in Hamas vs. Israel war. For details of the story, please stay tuned. Fighting in Gaza Strip raged for a 22nd day Saturday after Hamas militants launched a surprise attack on Israel, killing at least 1,400 people, mostly civilians, according to Israel officials. Since the October 7 attack, the health ministry in the Hamas-run Gaza Strip says more than 7,300 Palestinians have been killed by Israel's relentless retaliatory bombardment, mainly civilians and many of them children. Here are 4 key developments from the past 24 hours. The first development is that Israeli strikes intensify. Israeli pounded Gaza with air and artillery strikes on Saturday after an intense night attack when the army said 150 underground targets were hit. Terror tunnels, underground combat spaces, and additional underground infrastructure were struck, the military said, adding that several Hamas terrorists were killed. No official toll was immediately given, but a Gaza civil defense official told the AFP a large number were feared dead in one of the most intense nights of attacks in the war. A thick haze of smoke covered Gaza and southern Israel after the night of heavy bombardment, according to AFP correspondent. More air raids and artillery shelling were reported after daybreak, but they were less intense than overnight. This comes after Israeli military spokesman Daniel Hagari said on Friday night that the army was extending its ground operations after 2 straight nights of tank incursions. Hamas armed wing on Friday night said it was fighting Israeli troops in northern Gaza's Beit Hanun and the more central East Bridge. The second update is that communications are also cut. Internet access and the phone network were completely cut across the Gaza Strip on Friday ahead of the intensification of Israeli operations. Authorities in Gaza accuse Israel of taking the measure to perpetrate massacres with bloody retaliatory strikes from the air, land, and sea. AFP journalists in Gaza confirmed they were only able to communicate in limited areas where they could connect to Israeli networks across the border. The Palestinian Red Crescent said the disruption affects the central emergency number 101 and hinders the arrival of ambulance vehicles to the wounded in the ongoing strikes. The third issue, which is humanitarian truce call. The UN General Assembly on Friday called by a large majority of an immediate humanitarian truce in Gaza, the non-binding resolution, criticized by Israel and the United States for failing to mention Hamas, received 120 votes in favor, while 14 against and 45 abstentions from UN members. Hamas welcomed the General Assembly call. Israel's ambassador to the world body, Gilad Eddard, called it an infamy. The third issue is avalanche of human suffering. United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres warned Friday that Gaza faces an unprecedented avalanche of human suffering due to a lack of food, water, and power during the Israeli bombing in response to the Hamas attack. I repeat my call for a humanitarian ceasefire, the unconditional release of all hostages, and the delivery of life-saving supplies, Guterres said. Before the war, about 500 trucks a day rolled into Gaza to bring in supplies, but in recent days, the average is down to only 12, which enter from the Rafah border crossing with Egypt, he said. Thanks for being with us, and this marks the end of our story at the moment. Don't forget to join us later for more news update. But before then, we would like to hear your opinion on this matter. That first, what is actually causing this war? And then, what is the interest of the parties that want this war to keep on going? And then, what will be the fate of the Gazan civilians that are being affected by this war? Have a nice time and goodbye.